my sweat
I
equity?
do know that.
Sweat equity.
It is
Sweat equity.
hot.
My sweat equity. My sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You're showing off your shorts.
I am
For those
wearing
watching at
some
home.
hot pants. We're going shirtless.
AC's broken if you're wondering.
I'd wear my banana hammock if I had them on me today.
You don't have it on underneath?
Nah.
Cool.
Just letting those nuts fly on the saddle seat in here so I get good posture so I don't look like a fatty.
How much of
On camera?
a sad man are you that there was, not that women can't fix things, but there was a woman who came in to fix the AC?
Oh, so, yeah, we've got AC issues in the Sweat Lodge studio. It's just Eric and I on the ones and twos.
Hot.
It's hot as shit in here. April in Tampa, Florida.
It's as hot as it can get anywhere in the whole wide world.
I always judge it by how much does your back sweat from walking from your AC car to your AC building, whatever that may
Right.
be.
It's the maximum.
Or if you find yourself in Florida, you used to just go to the grocery store and not buy anything. You just go.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
In the dairy aisle.
I think that was the thing because Publix may have been the first that had refrigeration.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say that's true.
Refrigeration?
Refrigeration?
You're the guy that calls it the refrigerator?
Yeah. Well, you
I
gonna
don't recall refrigerating
I
it
don't-
a first time. How
Yeah.
can we refrigerate it? I don't get it. That's a refrigerator.
I eat what I bring in. What do you eat and then put it back in?
You got time for all these extra letters and words? Come on.
I know we only do 33-minute episodes. I feel like it's Chris Farley teaching you how to save time.
Yeah. Well,
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
we save time by talking about it for 30 seconds, and here we are.
Hey, this podcast is about breaking down the minutia of business, giving advice. We are just merely conduits of smarter people, and then throwing a lot of dick jokes in there because that's the great equalizer.
Sure.
I told someone the other day, if you don't think dick jokes are funny, I think you're a liar.
Yeah. They are lying.
They didn't reply to my text.
Really?
I think they wanted to think
That's
about
good.
that.
That's a nice filter.
Yeah,
you don't want
it's
any
good
part
for
of that
business.
person. Oh, for business. Okay. Well, you didn't say that.
We already broke the hymen on sending each other dick memes because he was like, I could probably challenge you with the text I got, and I was like, okay, I got a whole repertoire of comedians.
Great. So,
Yeah.
lawyers involved yet?
No. This is all personal. My personal text. It matters. We're not talking business.
Mm.
So, one thing I did talk with that person, and like literally sweating. We have a little fan. If you hear that, it's kind of hitting.
Dude, my pits are. I'm doing it.
You've
now.
got some pit problems lately. I didn't want to bring it up.
Bro, what's going on with my pits?
I don't know, man.
Should I go to a doctor?
I think you got to switch deodorant.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you use the stick or the spray?
Stick always spray.
Spray, dog.
That's your problem.
No, I don't care.
I sweat. You know,
It's
I sweat way
gross.
more than you.
Lift your arm up. Let me see your armpiit hair. See that the stick
What,
gets
white
it all
chalky?
gross. It gets it all gross and
It's already
chunky.
gross anyway. It's not like
Ugh, so uncomfortable. Ugh. All right, we can move on.
I'm telling you.
I'll go to the doctor.
Look, I'm as embarrassed to buy Axe deodorant. It works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you.
And that's a stick?
There's a white chalky stick. Yeah.
That's weird. Axe was always spray stuff to me.
No, they've got there might be the biggest deodorant in the aisle, man, for dudes.
I buy it online.
I buy the Phoenix, I think it's called. It's blue.
God,
It's all black, and then it's blue. That's all I know.
you're a Phoenician.
I'm a Phoenician, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a tampon, a tampanian.
An Axe man.
I know.
Right.
I feel
Now
terrible.
everybody knows.
But their marketing should have nothing to do with how well the product is. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, they really. It's that good that you're still using it, even though it is like the go-to brand for being a douche.
No, it's marketed to douches,
Right.
but that doesn't mean
What's
you're.
the difference?
I think if you buy a Maserati, that brand is undouchey, but douchebags buy it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Whereas Axe is marketed to douches that douches buy it, but that doesn't mean it's a douche product.
So are you saying you buy it ironically?
No,
So
I buy
then-
it because it's effective
Oh,
over everything, right?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sharing. We're not like doing a switcheroo or anything. Something weird.
No.
I don't want to do that.
Of deodorant.
Yeah.
Of it-
Share toothbrush.
Man, this show would hit a pragmatic low. Hey guys,
Here's
we're
some
doing a
advice.
challenge.
Share deodorant. It's
Some people
easier.
are doing
much
some
more
doing.
cost effective.
You could do Sober October, or we got a deodorant challenge going over here.
No deodorant.
Which one has
All
a better
Victoria.
effectiveness? That would be really poor.
I'd do it.
I'd do it, but it's not exciting.
Might be for me. You're the one who's out and about.
Hey man, I like my Axe.
Single life.
I found it. I don't need to. Oh yeah, and smell. Women like the smell.
Some do.
They're like, "Did you shower?" I was like, "I haven't showered in 3 days." I
That's
do
the
that
thing.
a lot.
Pheromones. That's the thing.
Well, so I don't know if it's the pheromones or Axe, because there definitely is the thing, right?
Yeah. No, the pheromones is a whole. It's weird because like there's certain people that their BO smells good. I mean,
Or just their
usually
musk.
a significant other.
Like we had
Yeah, that's what I mean.
we were in here last week. I was a guest on a Serena Fizon's podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and Trailblazer should be on iTunes
Yeah.
shortly.
Submitted for review.
Okay, so by the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, not the episode I'm talking about on her podcast about dating, which I wanted to bring that up. Women have a thing with smell that guys don't have.
Yeah.
It's a weird psychological thing.
I think it's
This
just.
will weave into business soon in a second.
I
but-
just think it's more socially acceptable for a woman to be like, "Ooh, you stink. I like it," because you were out working,
I
doing
feel like
stuff.
that is the voice of your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
If I know her
so
really
I
well.
can get away with it. But like for a
I
guy,
feel like she
to
would
like
say
a girl
that.
stank.
Yeah.
you're
I don't think a lot of women say that though.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think you'd be for like people really in love. I think it's
No,
a thing.
I've had that with serious relationships where
Well-
they look like, I like the way you smell, and you're
Right.
like, okay.
No, there was a thing they did some kind of experiment where they had like certain number of dudes wear a shirt for however long, and then they put the shirt in a bag, and then women like rated which ones they liked the smell the most,
Uh-huh.
and it somehow correlated to like who they would prefer to date and that sort of thing.
You know what? You want to get some chicks with dad issues. Just bring this kind of full circle in the beginning. Call back. Get some Old Spice, baby, or Brute.
Dracar Noir.
Yeah, that's gonna bring back some dad issues that you will fill that void,
My dad
literally
used to
and
put that on
figuratively.
after he
They-
spilled liquor on his shirt.
Did you just hear fill the void, literally,
Mhm.
figuratively?
Mm-hmm.
You just steamrolled right over that.
I had a great liquor joke.
God,
Sorry.
I didn't even hear yours. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Ah,
For those listening, it was amazing.
crosstalk. That's what makes podcasts good.
I'll just host my own over here, and you do yours over there.
Okay.
And we'll be way better
Just
off.
someone walks in, just two psychos
Shit, I didn't prepare for mine.
talking, not looking into each other.
Closed off.
Well, actually, we look pretty insane right now.
Yeah,
The
actually.
property manager comes back in to this office and sees us doing a podcast without shirts on,
Yeah.
It
Called Sweat Equity.
and we can't
Wearing sweatbands.
and
sweating. No shirts.
and our kind of parody 80s stuff as the branding looks already pretty homoerotic. So
Telling you, we should just lean into it.
look,
The Sweat Equity Podcast Cruise.
you
All.
want to go gay cruising?
I didn't say gay cruise, but,
Double-
whoever pays for it.
From a
is
marketer
welcome.
standpoint, look, bring all the gay, businessy, curious people, or bi-curious too. Bring them all as listeners. Tell your gay friend about this. You know why? Double income, no kids. It's this big demographic thing in
Yeah.
marketing
Oh, yeah.
where they go, hey, most of them aren't. Now you can have kids.
They need to be told what to spend all that extra money on.
Well, no, I mean,
Podcast
there
cruise.
is like a literal like old school way of thinking that hey, double income, no kids. These people will spend on entertainment a little bit more or luxury items a little bit more. Typically, if they have the disposable income. Obviously.
Yeah. No overtones of the lifestyle correlating to that either, ever.
Well,
From those old white.
we'll say it, but they won't
marketing
say it.
guys.
Yeah.
Plus they like to,
Yeah, but you save
I
save
can't- I
money
don't
on
wanna-
wardrobe if you're the same size.
Yeah. Actually, that's not I have two gay neighbors that have been living there for a while and 30 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're about the same size, but they don't share clothes. We definitely asked them.
definitely a joke, but I didn't think that was a real thing.
I know. I just wanted you to know that.
Oh yeah, I
I
know.
just found it really interesting. I was like, why not?
I try to get in the game mafia. I want to be a fruit fly. I want to be around that.
Fruit fly.
Yeah, I want to be hovering. I want to be orbiting around it because you ever been to a gay party? Awesome.
Yeah.
I used to perform.
I don't know what that means. Wait.
Like
I've been to the
any
gay bar
party,
down here in
no,
Ybor.
Gay bar is a little rough. You know.
They're pretty gentle with me.
Well, look, I did say as a sometimes if I'm feeling down and I go for a run, I'll just take a jog by the boys over
Slap
in
them
Ybor
shorts
City.
on and I
can whistle that.
Self-esteem
Feels
going.
nice.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like when people ask you to be in Scientology, you're like, thanks, but no thanks. You made my day.
Right.
You think I could be in it? but
Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
You think
I
I'm
wish.
rich enough to be in it?
Yeah, I wish.
You think I got the money for Scientology, please?
I don't have the dedication.
Oh yeah.
Or discipline.
Well, that's studying.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah. So one of those things of this kind of does weave in. It will into the businessy part of this because I don't know if I've been meaning to, but someone was calling me out that I've been pushing this podcast topics way more towards psychology, and which is true.
Really?
I just want to do some business stuff.
Well, it's
Just
going to
wanna
be
do some
whatever's on
business
our
stuff.
mind usually, but business is psychology. I mean, that is everything. I'm reading a Harvard Business Review article from 2016 talking about the elements of value, and the whole thing's about using. Basically, they made a new pyramid similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Right.
And I wanted to come in and I was like, let's talk about the value of giving away your services for free
Right.
is a goose egg. It's zero.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking zero.
Yeah.
We have a bleeding heart syndrome here in this office. We surround ourselves with good people, I think. I think our preferred partners are the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We're all trying to keep each other accountable. And when you think you're getting that exposure that's promised, or you're going to get my business if you can just help me here kind of angle from someone, maybe in the B2C world, maybe it's realized a little bit more. In the B2B world, I don't think it is.
Right. I think it's valuable to a point to where once you get the experience, working in whatever professional situation it is you're trying to come up in, you're good. But then once it's like what you're doing, there's not really the experience is nothing but psychological experience in dealing with people who don't have value in what you're doing.
Right. Or if it's never realized. Right. So and part of it's on us. I said one thing we need to work on internally at Tokobaga Consulting, TOCOWORKS.com, solving how. Is our little slug line. Or I might change it to girthy ROI, but I want it to be for sweat equity, I think.
Yeah.
I think that should be our hashtag.
Yeah, we need something.
Because that is a
other
mix of business and dick joke.
Yeah, because we can't keep putting dick jokes written down as our tagline as
Plus,
much as we want it to.
And we're broader than that. We talk about all terrible
about balls
things you can't talk about.
And taints.
That's what
all the way to the buttholes.
I always felt stand-up or podcasts, it's for the things you can't. It's real talk. It's stuff you want to talk about and can't at work in a corporate office.
Yeah,
that's always been my kind of look at it.
Yeah, ironically, we are in the one office that we can talk about it.
We can. We have. I was applauded for our email signature instead of bitched at by White So Long. I said it protects my ability or anybody that has our email address as their handle to say, it protects freedom of speech. It protects off-color stuff. So nothing should be taken seriously. Everything should be to contract only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad you got all that ironed out before I got here.
Yeah, well, I know my weaknesses. I know that that's
oversharing.
Oversharing's one. Trusting too much.
Yeah. Honesty.
Being overly honest when no one wants it.
Right.
But mainly trying to be funny in a situation that, I knew it 5 years ago before this place even started that you try to make jokes in text or email. I've tried to write a joke how women will read it in any whatever mood they're in.
Yeah.
So
and I sent you the Key and Peele sketch about that, right?
No.
They have it's already been done.
It's been
perfect
done.
too.
Damn
Key and
it.
Peele.
Parallel thinking. Didn't
Yeah.
copy it. Haven't watched the show unless someone shows me a clip.
5 years old. But yeah.
I definitely wrote that down probably 7 years ago. No lie.
I believe you.
Because I remember the fight I got in about it.
I mean, it's just like, you and I, we're always going to boil it down to psychology because we're always trying to just figure it out and get in people's heads, trying to understand why certain things are the way they are,
Well, yeah.
It's hard not to go to psychology.
So what we need to do on our side, we can only control what we can control, like people in AA, right? And so what we have to do, I have to pull back the reins a little bit on oversharing, on maybe work-wise, I'll always want to give 2 for 1, right? Just as almost a strategy to cover us versus any other digital agency.
Explain.
So
what you're talking about
we
a little
always
bit
do
further.
twice the effort for what we're charging.
Yeah.
And so I always like that standard. It's a football thing. I think it's a good way to go about life. I think, but what it does is it gives you peace of mind knowing, hey, we did well more than we're supposed to. As long as we get the things that were on the list that they needed done first, then the extra credit, as we call it.
Yeah.
But-
Helps us sleep at night.
But my thing is, well, it helps me be objective when there's an argument. We had a bad debt client. I won't get into the specifics because there's legal ramifications, but it told me to fuck off. And I was like, you'll dictate how this relationship goes.
Right.
You can have nothing. You can pay for the first thing is what reimbursable expenses we have. Then we can talk about an exit, kind of compromise.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm getting kind of perturbed, wasting a lot, and mostly only because I'm having to waste a lot of time and energy. My brain works like a computer memory.
Right. You're
I don't want to think about this.
97% capacity.
Yeah, I don't want to think
RAM.
about this. I just want to use Memory Clean. It's a good little Mac app.
Mushroom.
Or that.
Sure.
But I don't want to I don't want to have my brain in that negative area or any of that. And I go, look, you'll dictate how this relationship goes.
Yeah.
I'll be more than fair. I'll be objective. I can stand outside my body or myself in this situation a lot of the times if I'm not in the heat of it. Like if I'm writing an email, I'm sitting down trying to really think about it, and I'll go, you need to pay these first, or these will go to collection, which we can easily send, and then because we have texts and emails that are confirming these, and then I'm just saying, hey, I'm getting kind of perturbed by a lot of this, and I didn't even read the whole email. The first thing was like perturbed. Oh, so I said, perturbed? You can go fuck off. And I was like, okay.
Okay, that escalated.
So I won't write back,
Yeah.
and it'll just be. I already said what I was going to do. If this, then that. Here are your choices.
It's crazy, dude, that like
And what is it? It doesn't hurt my feelings, right?
Right.
It used to it bugged me a lot, and then I go, oh, that's not. I don't think this is us. We did well more in a month. We did 60 hours of work.
Yeah.
That was 20 hours.
Right. It's just
that we were contracted because we thought we had someone that we could work with in the long term.
Right. And it's like 99% of the time, this person comes to us and says, listen, I want to work with you guys. I'm having money,
Right.
It's like, I need to,
But
I'll make it happen. Like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like,
our efforts not realized.
it's crazy.
Going forward, I think protocol is something we don't have to do. Other agencies don't do it, but I do want to get our time track to be sent quicker, and I want to have recognition, just something that recognizes work done already.
Yeah. That might just be
A form that
right.
says, hey, here's what we've done. Just say, got it.
Maybe just something every day automatically. Boop, boop, boop. You're
Yeah.
going to get this. Just expect it.
There should
Just make it part of the thing.
We need an automated system. So if we do a website for someone, it'll just say, hey, we're in phase 1. Here's what we're doing now. Here's the things we're waiting for you to give us. Because it's like building a house, except you're waiting for the materials. You're waiting on the homeowner to give you wood and
Bring my
tile.
bricks.
I need tile and
And no bricks.
need some copper wire and shit.
No roof.
I need some stuff to be able to put this together as a service.
Right.
Or we have to go buy it.
Yeah.
And you pay us back.
In the meantime, I've been mowing the lawn.
And so my thing was like, there's things we can do to overdo our compliance or our protocol
Yeah.
that I think we've been in agreement we should do anyway. It might make her
Sure.
life easier too.
Yeah.
It might make her whole process better.
Everything is easier when you get the hard work done up front. It's a mountain.
It's the setting up the process that feels overwhelming for sure. But I think using Proposify now, you can use that for work order changes. So that's good. That solved a problem. That's
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah.
We can't do any extra work without having a confirmation work order change.
Uh-huh.
It could be electronically. It can be confirmation through Slack.
Yep.
Just that everything, what we do is we want to get the work done because we're excited about like crushing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It sounded
When
like
we
the
have a
fucking
job.
stoner.
Yeah.
Like, we're
but
excited about like crushing it.
We just, when I grew up, I want to really just crush it, bro.
Well, there's some projects we get into, like a lot of digital work is I'd rather do it in big chunks because it's a lot of short-term memory the way you actually do the work.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody bothering me. Like it's almost preferable to do it late at night or early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's a lot of scheduling on the marketing side or ongoing, or if it's web development or branding, it's a lot of just short-term memory of like, okay, I got to move this over here.
Yeah.
I don't need to write down notes.
Right. But
It's
if
more
you break away
cumbersome.
from it and you come back to it, you're like,
Right.
that's an extra bit of time that you got to spend, reorienting yourself.
And so instead of, but we can kind of, as all these things we're working on, not getting AppSap per one of our previous episodes that you loved, that phrase.
That's not a thing. We're not doing that as a thing.
So,
Not a thing.
okay. Let's call it, what I was relating it to is paralysis by analysis is the sister phrase to that.
Mhm. Yep.
You're doing your
That's
text.
not yours.
It's not mine. Tech stack. When your tech stack, meaning all your apps you're using to be efficient, just becomes a fucking clusterfuck. How about that?
Right.
Becomes an orgy.
That's
And
better.
and no one has the lube.
There's no towels.
The lube, I guess, is Zapier
No, there's too
or
much. How
IFTTT.
about- maybe there's too much lube. There's no towels or something because it's got to get messy.
Well, there's that. Yeah, I was going the integration
No
side.
lube is you don't get started.
When you have all these apps to make you bigger than you are as a small business, we're talking usually on the professional services side or e-commerce, that use all these apps to connect to each other, and there's breaks in the whole process and op stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think as we've been working on that, all of this stuff kind of is fitting like one big puzzle to solve a shitload of problems that I've let just kind of linger out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wall's gonna open up, take us to a secret tunnel, down to where all the answers are.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Dark Knight when he's like, when you're done, type her name in, and then Lucius Fox is like, huh? And he puts it in. They use the triangulation shit with the bat dar
Right.
or bat
That
radar.
convenient plot device.
Well,
Really, the only big problem I have with Christopher Nolan's Batmans.
what do you mean?
They're like, oh, I've been working, Master Bruce. I've been working on this magical thing that they can just look at whoever at all of a sudden.
Well, no, that was about how that was like a harbinger of what we're dealing with now with all the cell companies that have all the data.
I know, but they made it like they could see, like Daredevil.
Oh,
Like
you're
they
talking
could
about the
see
3D rendition where
Right.
this fucking glasses come down. Look, some of it's going to be corny like that.
I don't think it's real, bro.
No,
Go get that Joker.
or Harvey. Forget about him.
Was that who?
He's the White Knight. Anyway,
You're the White Knight.
I'm the White Knight in a bad industry. I've been
Mhm.
saying that in meetings.
There you go.
Feel
You're
real
just
cocky.
popping off on these taglines, huh? Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
The White Knight in this industry.
I stolen from my previous job as in a franchise group for Sola Salons.
Truly White Knight behavior.
Well, be the good guys in a really bad industry, and then we used to not talk about it, and we used to not say how we're doing things honestly, and in dishonest times, as Harvey says. We were honest men.
And I want to point out when I walked into the office, you were watching that.
The Dark Knight Rises
You were watching a different. Okay, Dark Knight.
to
I'm
get
sorry.
fired up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To get fired up,
Yeah,
you gotta watch a whole movie to get fired up.
I was on the bike. I was trying to write. I like the score. You know, it's what motivates me is sometimes that. You know, I don't want to just limp into the podcast ever.
No, I get it.
But
We need a morning cheer.
it's on in the background. It gets me fired up. I'm like, I should do some push-ups. And then it's like, this is really hot in here.
Yeah.
I think my
still
hands will
hot.
slip on the ground.
I keep tricking myself. I'm like, oh, it's getting cooler. It ain't.
So where are we at time-wise?
25.
Okay, so good. Well, this will be perfect. So we've had another discussion too about, we've helped some brands out. Let's just say, I'll keep it vague. We'll talk. Maybe a year from now we'll be specific, but I want to keep it vague. But I've had this conversation a few times last month. The value of giving away your services for free is zero.
Mhm.
This is fucking drilled in my head by one of my mentors, and I get it. I used to think he was an asshole, kind of, or he just was like on the spectrum more than I am.
Turns out he's Jocko Willink.
Turns out he's right, and this works. There needs to be a social contract of anything if there's no actual money exchange or anything.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
okay, you did a favor for me. I always think about it in a friendship where you're helping me out with something. I owe you to help you out with something. You're going to move soon. I'll help you with that
Right.
because you helped me, install this TV mount
Sure.
or something like that.
I understand.
I always try to keep that ledger, even though you don't really need to. I think psychologically it's not the best, they say.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be a person that doesn't keep that at all.
I think I don't think that is a bad thing. It's just, you want to return favors, you want to be grateful.
maybe
That's,
that was in my kind of marriage counseling stuff where you don't want to keep that ledger.
Oh, yeah.
But
There's
friendships
certain ledgers you don't need to hold on to because they don't do you any good. But that, I think,
I'd rather always be on the side of 51% I'm trying to give than trying to get any help.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to remember the nice things you do for other people. You remember when somebody does something nice for you to return the favor or whatever. You don't even have to have something nice done to you.
But look, I'm guilty of this as well, though. What's happened with us? I've gone, hey man, sorry, you've been doing a lot of work and doing this, and this, and I haven't even thanked you for it. I'll try to double back and at least do that. Well, that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs is recognition, right?
Yeah.
And so my thing about on the service side, if you're a digital agency, you're a contractor, you're trying to do your own hustle online or something like that. I thought this was really interesting where this pyramid is broken down for the elements of value. And so it basically takes Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the things we need: security, food, shelter. Those are on the bottom, right? And at the top is, self-aware or self-actualization.
Okay.
So that's
That's the very top.
That's the 1943 Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
Transcending.
And most people have heard of it. You probably heard about it in high school or college, kind of basic psychology class, all that stuff. We were trying to assume a freemium model with a lot of our pricing. If you do a retainer, I always want to extend the ability to do a free 15-minute phone call because I want to advertise that.
Yeah.
Or a free discovery meeting for an hour, like give you a strategy, because I can do that no problem. I can do it on a cocktail napkin. But that free for the discovery meeting, I'm going to start switching to, we're going to charge for that if you don't become a client on a project or retainer basis.
Yeah, it should be, especially if you're spitting out strategy.
Well, before I didn't have, let's say 3 years ago, I didn't believe I was as good as I was.
Right.
Right? I still thought we were fucking up. And then I've been in other agencies since, and I'm like, whoa, we're just bad on the business development side.
Right.
We're not the Rip Taylor throwing confetti everywhere and going, we could do magic. Right? We're bad at that. And eventually we'll get someone that is more hunter oriented, more magical. But we're doing the work correctly. We're just not doing that part.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have self-esteem, which is on the higher end of that. Maslow's hierarchy needs. Now I can look at it like math, and I go, okay, 400 plus companies or brands we've consulted since we've opened.
Mm-hmm.
I've been involved in almost every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a sample size that I can kind of sit on, right, and go,
sure.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything. I just know what I'm doing there.
Yeah, that's another thing where you did the free meetings for a while. You got the experience of getting in there and spitting some strategy that you kind of had to improv as you go.
And I wanted to put my foot in the door.
Right.
And I would tell them straight up, I don't know the best way to do some of this stuff. I'm going to figure it out, but that's what I'm good at.
Yeah. And now you've got the experience. These free ones aren't doing you any good.
Well, now
charging.
Now we're to this level. If you're a lawyer, maybe you do a lot of pro bono no one knows about. If you're a doctor, you usually do maybe some stuff to help people out that don't have health insurance. I don't know how you could, because that gets a little tricky.
You definitely can.
Well, but I mean, there's a lot of professional services businesses out there that you go too far. What sucks about ours is it feels more intangible than the others.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's always changing, and no one really has a primer education on it when they walk in the door.
Yeah. I just think about JP Labadie, Tampaniac Pictures, we did a wedding video for a friend of ours, and that was the only one we did for free because we had something. We did this one.
And you should have sent a bill that had an invoice for whatever, 16 grand, whatever the normal price is for it.
Yeah.
And then crossed it out.
Yeah. Free.
But just so they knew.
Yeah.
That, hey, there was. Now, some people won't even look at that, but if they're expecting it for free, they're going to look at the invoice.
Right.
Because it won't say the price on the
Well,
email.
this was a very close friend. And
I know.
Wasn't,
but even with your you know what? Your close friends need to know it the most, honestly, because you turn around and they don't know. There's business that they could have given you that they go, oh, shit, I didn't know.
Yeah. No, I get all that.
It
wasn't what that was the absolute first one where it was like thinking about invoicing anybody is 40th on the list.
Well, it's like
we got to charge
invoice.
batteries and clear out some memory cards, bro.
None of that.
Fucked.
Just that just so the value of what you did is realized.
Yeah.
Or it's zero, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that there was a video to show, and when they see the video and they enjoy the video, that value is able to be shown.
Let's do a part 2. Let's do another episode continuing this while we're sweating our balls off. We're already here. The saddle I'm sitting in is already wet or moist.
Ew.
I'd like to give a hottie toddy
before your balls are out.
You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
That hottie toddy on the outro? Thanks for listening. Let's keep this as a part 2. Coming up after this episode.
What about my sweat equity?
Sweat
equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Hey, Toddy.
My sweat equity.
We want a good show.
There's a lot more.
What about my sweat equity?